Hi and welcome. Do you want to think more clearly, more profoundly? And I'm going to share 2 methods to help you to do that, so please hang around for that. Last week, I was writing in my journal. So as you know, who've been watching this channel, I've had this recurring theme now on my channel where I'm talking about frustration and how I'm dealing with it. So I was doing exactly that. I was writing about my frustration, just interrogating it, reflecting, writing in my journal. And so I'm doing this, and what I've started to do occasionally is that I like to feed it into ChatGPT, because I find it kind of helps. It makes you think about things, or makes me think about. Sorry, I've broken my own rule there. It's all about me. I'm not going to use that figurative view. So it helps me to interrogate. It just helps me, gives me different ideas. It bounces, its way of bouncing ideas. It's a sounding board I essentially use it as. And that's what I was doing. So I've written my journal, I've put it into there, and it bounces back something, and it makes me think of something that I've never thought about before. To give you a bit of context, so I've always had this idea that why is it that some people, they can be professionals, they can be experts in their field, but there's something lacking at a deeper level. And I always felt this, but I could never put my finger on it. So what's happened? I've coming back to my journal entry. So I've done this. I've fed it into ChatGPT, and it comes back with something that blew my ego. You know, it's blowing my trumpet. And you have to take what it says with a pinch of salt. You know, you can't run away with it. So it comes back and it says that my way of thinking is rare. So I'm thinking, okay, fantastic. So I'll start to explore, start to have this conversation with it, and it explains, and this is where the two methods that these 2 ideas come from. So it says to me, it comes back with, I've had a general idea of a general critique of the education system, that it actually serves the economy and not the person. So I had this general critique, but I've never come across this idea before. So it comes back with that the education system is geared towards teaching one what to think and not how to think. And I always had this idea because it's been my own personal experience that, you know, universities given me the skills to how to think, and this was challenging that. And what it said was that it's that university education, I'm talking grad and beyond, that what it does, it teaches you how to look at the world in an outward way. And, you know, for example, it teaches you how things are connected, correlations, causation, how to look at the outside world, whether that be a cell or relationships within, relationships in terms of X, the impact of X on Y, those kinds of relationships, and they relate to in real world situations in various and varied and expansive ways. And I could relate to that. I could really relate to it, and I can see how, like in my own experience, that is essentially what you learn at university. That's what you're looking at. In the grand scheme of things, you're looking outwards. It's not really about the inward focus. So that was that. So I found that interesting. And then, so it's told me that it's rare, and it's given me this idea, because I was asking it, like I was interrogating ChatGPT, And then it gave me examples, and what it said was that what I'm doing is I'm essentially thinking about my thinking, and that is meta awareness, and that's what it was honing in on, that is rare. And so I'm having this conversation, so it's come up with these two things, and this is where I've made the connection. Now, like I've said this before, my journaling, I've been journaling now for like 10 years. And what inspired me to journal was, one, I had this desire to better myself. So that was one. You need that desire. If you don't want to progress, you're not going to progress. As simple as that. So you have to have that desire, that motivation. I had that, and then also I came across, and if you haven't read it or come across it, I would highly recommend it. I can't think of the author's name top of my head, but the book is called Sociological Imagination, and that book really prompted me to really motivated me and inspired me to journal, and that's what I've been doing for 10 years. And that's where I've developed this ability, this skill of interrogating my own thinking. I'm thinking, and I can do a video. So please share if you want me to make a video on this, so I can go into more detail. But it's like, essentially, I'm thinking X. Why am I thinking X? Where did that thought even come from? What's inspiring it? And then you're able to then connect it to worldly things. Looking at it, I'm looking at it from a Muslim Islamic perspective. You can then connect it to worldly things, worldly aspects. Is it because of society? Is it because of my religion? Is it because of a religious source? Something the scholar said that's inspired me, and then you go in, and then it's given me then an understanding of all sorts of different things. So that's where my journaling inspiration came from, and I've been doing it for X amount of, like I said, literally over 10 years, and having this conversation with ChatGPT has made me aware. And ChatGPT, it helped me to understand that what I've done, and this is what it was saying is rare, that I've taken those critical research-based skills that are typically used to analyze the outside world. I've taken those very skills to look at myself in an inward basis, on an inward level. So those are my two tips. So it's having those critical and analytical thinking skills, and then it's having the ability to journal, and you're not gonna, it's a process. So it's a case of, it's a case of building your journal entries and then being able to think more deeply about them. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share. I hope that's been helpful. So if you do really, truly, honestly want to become a better person and make the most of life, I would strongly suggest. They're tried and tested. It's worked for me, and I'm sure it'll work for you. You just have to give it a go. All the best on your journey with that. And I just want to end. This really captures two things. One, it captures the theme of my channel. And the other thing, it does also capture what we're talking about here. It's an Arab proverb, and it's deep and it's thought-provoking. So I'll fire away. So it says, there are four kinds of men. He who knows not and knows not he knows not, he is a fool, shun him. He who knows not and knows he knows not, he is simple, teach him. He who knows not and knows not he knows, he is asleep, wake him. He who knows and knows he knows, he is wise, follow him. And on that note, see you next week.